Hi, kids. It's Rogan again. It is, I believe, Tuesday afternoon. Uh, couldn't really sleep. I was too sick and too weird to sleep. I mean, I did a little bit, but I thrashed and rolled and tossed and turned as much as this couch allows. But I'm not having so much of a problem breathing in here today. I've been cleaning up and starting to get things ready to depart this hellscape. Um, right. I was going to recommend another movie. This morning, when I was too ill to do a damn thing constructive, really, I watched about half of a Dario Argento picture from 1980 called Inferno. Um, I've always really loved Inferno. I've seen it a bunch of times. Um, uh, Sort of a sequel to Suspiria. You know, not even sure how much of a briefing anybody needs on Dario Argento. If you're a serious horror nerd, you know all about Argento. Of the Well, I was about to say of the dozen or so of his most famous and most widely seen and loved pictures, Inferno is definitely the weird one, but I'm not sure Inferno is one of his hits. Hello, Floofy. Uh, it's sort of a sequel to Suspiria and sort of a Lovecraft influenced kind of way. They're related to each other. The premise is that there are three intentionally evil buildings haunted by three mothers who are sort of demonic figures, and these buildings are supposed to be sort of gates to hell. Um, I think Inferno is super trippy. I've seen Dario say in interviews that the influence of LSD as a creative, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. A sort of a centering beacon, a path, a shining light. LSD, uh, according to Dario, is essential to understanding what's going on with his, I think, universally agreed on masterpiece and biggest hit, Suspiria. Dario says that I'm fond of these movies on under the influence myself, but I don't have to be into strange psychedelic drugs to appreciate the uh, Suspiria and Inferno, and some of Dario's other peak period masterpieces. But if there is one you got to be into acid to appreciate, it's Inferno. Inferno's fucking weird, and I think more consistent than even every one of his other best movies. But that's a matter of opinion. I definitely know people who are big time horror fans who Inferno loses them a little bit. It's just a little bit too weird. It sort of occupies the same place in the Argento catalog as uh, like Satyricon with Fellini, or it's a pretty good comparison. I'm not sure uh, what other comparison I can make that's parallel like that. It definitely loses people with good taste. On the other hand, it is deeply phantasmagorical, beautifully designed as an exercise in style and form. It's, I think, impeccable, irreproachable. Uh, it's not the Argento movie I would show somebody else to start with, but I think it's the one I come back to most often on my own. Um, yeah, I'm trying to decide how to try to explain the story. I don't know that there's a way to do it. It's about evil architecture. Uh, it's about, yeah, sort of evil magic, like I said, gates of hell, hidden in the intentionality of the evil architecture. Copies of a magic book written by the architect that explains this. Uh, it, it's sort of the middle movie of a trilogy, but it's sort of not. Again, this is sort of Lovecraft influenced. These movies aren't really connected. If you're the kind of fool who's obsessed with continuity and world building, it reaches in that direction, but it's just fucking with you. These movies are not that, really. Once in reviewing a Jess Franco movie, I'm proud of this. It's probably the smartest thing I ever said about any movie I ever reviewed. That Jess Franco movies make you feel like you've fallen asleep and you're dreaming that you're watching a bad movie. Argento at his best, I think, consciously tries to do something similar. There's sort of impressions of a movie from a dream more than they're like actual or other movies. And there is not one of which this is more true than Inferno. There really isn't anything like it, and I always enjoy it again. Uh, I said, talking about Cannibal Holocaust earlier, that should I create enough of these review videos, we will revisit the subject of transgressive and shock elements in cinema of the early 80s. There's also this weird thing that's going to come back again and again that I mentioned with John Carpenter, and I'm now mentioning again with Argento, where there's a definite clear split between it's like a generation gap. It's like the joke about the hippie generation that turns up insistently in old movies, is definitely before my time. That the kids smoke grass and the grown-ups drink alcohol. This is kind of like that. Inferno is not. It does have these neoclassical elements. In theory, it is fully and well grounded in the history of genre cinema and horror. But it is also wild-eyed psychedelia, and there's a kind of futurism in it, a kind of dreamlike futurism that leaves this movie permanently in the future. The cinema will never catch up to where this movie is. That's by intent. It's clearly supposed to be the kind of movie where the stoned people see it with their not stoned parents, and when the parents are disgruntled at the end of the movie and say they don't get it and they don't understand what the point is, the stoned kids can laugh at them. Yeah, again, I recommend this most highly. It is definitely a niche audience thing, though. I don't know a better way to tell you whether or not this is a movie you will enjoy, except to say that if the things I've just said about it sound intriguing to you, you will like this movie. If it sounds like the kind of shit talk you hear being shit talked about pretentious nonsense bullshit movies you hate for being art rather than horror. Yeah, you might not really. Well, start with a different Argento for sure. Phenomena or Tenebrae or Suspiria. Not this one. Um, this is a next level movie for sure. I'm pretty sure I'm not actually allowed to actively recommend you take acid or mescaline before you watch a movie that I make a video about. So I won't do that. I'll be talking to you guys later on. Sooner or later, I really am going to make a video tour of the Hovelscape here. It's, well, I mean, I'm going to be getting out soon now. But I sure feel trapped. It sure feels like... I've said this to several of my friends. It's like this place is haunted and like I'm cursed. Except it's sort of a secular haunting and a cold and different consciousless, unconscious curse that has to do with a malaise of mental illness and entropy and physical ailments and defeatism and self-defeatism. That doesn't really feel like a supernatural thing at all, but it almost does. It almost feels conscious. It almost feels like a curse, and it definitely is trying its best today and yesterday to make me think I'll never escape. There's no way out. So it's not exactly true. There are no bars. In fact, I can't even lock the doors and the windows. There's no way to secure the place from either direction. And yet it feels like a cell out of which I can't just walk. Oh, right. I'm reviewing a movie, not talking about the Hovelscape. So started remixing my two threads of subject here in these videos like that. Because in theory, somebody somewhere is watching the movie review videos and ignoring the videos about me. And you're not wrong. The movie review videos are definitely of, I think, more interest and more use to most people in the world. Really good taste in movies, especially horror movies. I don't want to end the video. I'm tired and lonely, and like I said in another recent video, I somehow am a lot less freaked out, and I stay a lot more sober-minded, sane, and focused, and proactive and positive when I'm talking to you guys. So all 6 of you-ish watching these videos, including the 2 or 3 I don't really know who you are. Thanks. Means the world. I'll talk to you soon. I might be talking to you sooner than later, because the next movie on my list I've also seen like a dozen times and not that long ago. So making it easy. Covering movies I don't actually have to look at before I talk about them, though. That definitely defeats the purpose for me on some level. I'm supposed to enjoy watching movies. So I got here anyway.